Sure can, Nicholas.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Can you hear me? Because I'm checking my speakers, micro.
Yeah, I can hear you.
No,
I can hear you fine.
just hold on. Okay. Can you speak just a little bit?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
Okay, that's fine.
There? Okay, good.
So, okay, so there are two files that we can keep processing. This one and the one that I sent, which is more complicated. So I hope that you got that file too.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. In between the today and the previous session, have you found some times to work with the software?
I hope everybody did. I hope everybody did. If anybody's trying to talk, they're on mute. But yeah, Nicholas, I'll just count on you today just to kind of keep things moving. Chad's not going to be on today, so James was going to try and record it, I think, so Chad could catch up later.
Yep, I've got it recorded.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do, probably, if you don't mind, we can focus on this. I would say simple model in order to move through the workflow to check the roundness and to see the different steps. And probably for the next session we will try to do the same thing, but for this model, which is more complicated, because you need to clean more points, the bottom, the shell, depending on for sure on what you want. Here, this model was quite simple because we think we had only only the shell scanned from the outside. So I remind you that the workflow was to try to create a reference cylinder. So using just to recall whose function, to remind you whose function, extract cylinder, withdraw cylinder. We try to also force the axis so that it goes along the Z direction. So click here, Z, and click another point if you want. and okay, exit. So I just quickly remind you that. So here the cylinder can be a little bit extend. To be sure that you for the subsequent step, I'm going to clean the cloud according to this shape. So this Y, on contrary to the plane, which is infinite. So you can whatever the size of the base plane. If you select the points above and beneath the plane, you will consider them all of them, which is not the case for the cylinder. Cylinder, you must enlarge a little bit. So after we just select the cylinder and the point cloud, and we go to the clean menu, and we try to separate according to the distance, to keep as much as you can most relevant point, and even if you don't get 100% the good points, you can also get back just a little bit after. And I don't know if you still have some points, for instance, here, which looks good. You can just come back to them and say, okay, this one must be a part of the shell, even if it's not. So you can come back, and in this case you go still to the clean menu and clean separate and make a manual adjustment. So with the different selection mode, so the free one, and you can split. Okay, so now you can hide this one if you want, and this remaining points, if you want to add with the points which were close to the cylinder, which is not the case here, of course. After, you can just select them and right click and group. So this is the things that we did. I show you also some other tools like the limit slice. So what, I don't want to bother too much with that. We will see probably in the next section when we will have to deal with the other tank. Now let's continue with this one. So the process, the first step of the process was to clean the points as much as you can in order to keep only the part that you want to process, for sure. So here we have only the shell, but let's imagine that for another tank you've got everything, the bottom, the top, and the shell, and you just want to check the roundness of the shell, for sure that it's not necessary to focus on the top and the bottom, as you want only to focus on the shell. So this is the first thing that you have to be aware. Don't spend too much time. Just go straight to the point, if I can say so. So feel free to interrupt me as soon as you've got a question, or if or I'm going too fast. Okay, so if you are satisfied with the point cloud, the clean point cloud, before going to the tank workflow, and let's follow it smoothly, I would say, the input of the tank workflow is a mesh. So I guess that you know everything, everybody what is a mesh. So from that, it's I would say that because in the tank workflow you do different things, especially after also we will see that later. If you want to compute the volume, you need a mesh. In a mesh also, it's you can get smoother and better section. And for surface analysis also it's better. But you can work with point cloud outside of the tank workflow. The tank workflow, the input is a mesh. which is not the case if you want, for instance, just to make an inspection directly from a cylinder or for a previous tank that you want to compare with over the time. It's possible just to do that. So if you are interested in making an inspection comparison between two models, whatever their type, surface to cloud, surface to surface, cloud to cloud, it's possible. So you can really go beyond the tank workflow and make a lot of different analyses. So let's focus now on the tank workflow for this model. What we're going to do is to create a mesh. So for that you got in the surface modeling. So I hope that you have opened this model because you're going to play with the software as well. So just for a quick introduction of the surface modeling, so you have here all the different functions to create a mesh. Most of the time you're going to use the 3D mesh and refine mesh. It could be automatic or manual, and in this case you can use directly a refine mesh. After probably extrusion can be also very interesting because if you can reconstruct also a theoretical model from a profile that you can extrude. This is not, you don't have these options, but some of the function I will show you later could be very interesting if you want to use these options. It's the possibility to keep only the lowest points, which could be very interesting to clean, especially the top part with to keep only the points located on the top and not on the metal framework. After you have some tools to locally improve the mesh, meaning you can fill the holes, you can smooth locally or globally, and so on. So let's focus on the 3D mesh. I'm going to explain you a little bit the different options, but most of the time you're going to do it in 2 steps and just follow the workflow. But it's important for you to understand. So it's a little bit theoretical, but you need to understand how does it work. This shell is made up of approximately 2 million points. No, 1 million points. Yeah. So if you triangulate and create a mesh from all points, you're going to duplicate the number of triangles, and you're going also to triangulate some noisy points. So this is not relevant and interesting to output such a big and noisy mesh. The idea is to have a lighter mesh from the point cloud, accurate enough, smooth enough, depending of course of your model. So this is why you have in the first option in the dialog box, you've got the noise reduction. So the idea for you is to mostly play with these 2 options, meshing in 2 steps and regular sampling. This is they belong to the same they do the same thing. In fact, is to make a sampling. So instead of taking all the points, you will pick up only the base point according to the software. And the base point is like you apply a 3D grid, voxel, not so 3D cube, and inside of each voxel or cubic 3D cube, you pick up the base point. According to the neighborhood and so on, density. I don't want to go too much in detail. So the idea is to pick up the base point, and the software will try to compute the best distance, sampling distance according to the number of points and the dimension of the model. So this is why here it's indicated 0.15. We are working in meters, so it's in meter. Of course, this value can be modified. The idea, measuring two step, is 15 centimeter. Regular sampling suggests 7 centimeter. Why? So if we will do, and you will see the difference. So it's I would say meshing principles is the most complex part to understand. So I will try to explain as much as I can. So this is the sampling distance. We will click and you will see the result. And after you got the hole management. So by default, it's 3 times the value indicated in the sampling distance. It means that if there is a hole, so let's focus on this big hole. So for instance, if you make a quick measurement and take a point here, so the horizontal distance is 64 centimeters. So it means that this hole will not be filled. Probably this one. So it really depends on your first parameter. You can change that and put 50 centimeters, for instance. Or you can try to keep only the external border, and the software will try to fill all holes until you reach the external border, or if the hole is too big. So I guess that it's probably better to keep only the external border if you want to fill all the small holes that you can have. It's up to you, especially where. So for the manhole, probably it depends on you. After you are the operator, you will think about if it's relevant or not. Probably here, because the hole filling will try to follow the shape, so it could be interesting. It's for sure that here it will be a little bit more complicated because we don't have points. So we'll see if we need to repair to improve the quality of the mesh, or if you leave it like that. So let's, you can ignore scanning direction. Also, it could be interesting if, for instance, I think that in this case, don't know if you've got scanning direction. So scanning direction could be also interesting to ignore if there are points which are more or less doesn't show the good direction, in fact. Because you can mix it up during the scan, so you can create reverse triangles. So probably sometimes it's good to ignore scanning direction. We will see if it's the case, and you will see you will see it immediately. So let's if you've got all the file, let's make a regular sampling. Take a point every 7 centimeters. Try to keep only the external border and make a preview. So we will spend a little time on it to see the difference in terms of mesh. So, okay, that's what I thought. You must ignore scanning direction because it's up and inside and outside. So in this case, the information of the scanning direction is not interesting. Okay, so I hope you do the same. So if I say okay, and now I'm going to check the mesh. So the mesh, normally you should see by default the external surface is in is gold and the internal surface is in blue. For sure, if you unroll the mesh group, you can modify the color, change the transparency. Smooth is a uniform color. flat is probably the closest representation mode for the mesh, because smooth there is a shading effect. Wire, and when you want to check the shape of the triangle, or when you want to clean the triangle, you can use smooth and wire. And if you zoom in, you can see how the triangle has been made. And okay, 5 centimeter, 7 centimeter. So it means here that the sampling was 7 centimeter. So the average should be around 7 centimeter. It's not all triangle with have exactly this the sampling distance, but this is an average. So you can see here that you have bigger triangles because of the hole. And here you got some bad triangle because some bad points have been taken in account during the computation. And the other things that you have to understand is that here you have created a triangle using not all the points, because there was a sampling, but you use only 74,000 points, which create as twice as many triangles. You've got only one piece, which is so it's one single mesh with 3 open contours. So you should have the first one at the top, the bottom, and someone elsewhere, I don't know, we can check, but this is not very interesting. Okay. Now, just for your information, this is we use a sampling distance, just the default one. If you want to check, just to make you understand how accurate is your mesh, the point cloud is there. If you want to check the accuracy of your mesh, it's possible to do that. As I mentioned before, you can just make an inspection, a comparison between the output mesh and the measure model. So to do that, you select the mesh, and it's not necessary to display the cloud. I think this is this one, yes. With the control key, you select the point close to the cylinder. If you have saved the file, I hope, and the steps that you did during the last session. And if you go to analysis, so it's also introduction, you going to check what a cloud, okay, versus a mesh. Now you want to check the deviation on the mesh. So the mesh is the reference. Usually the surface versus point cloud, the surface is the reference. So you just select on which object you want to project the color map, the heat map, and make a preview. So we're going to compute in 3D at the shortest distance the deviation between the points and the result mesh. So if you see my screen, and I hope that you will do also on your computer, everything is green. It means that 99 points of the points are located between 1 centimeter. So of course we're going to change that to reduce in order to see more precisely the deviation. So to do that, and it will be it's also something interesting for you because you will use this function during the tank workflow. And what is very interesting is that once you have done the comparison, you can edit the color when you want, inside the dialog box or outside the dialog box once the comparison has been carried out. So edit the color, and now you can reduce the size by clicking or entering a smaller size. So I want to check the deviation between 1 centimeter and minus 1 centimeter because the surface of the mesh could be probably inside the cloud. Or we can reduce. Let's make a preset. So here you have some presets. So if you want to come back to the previous, you can restore the previous version. You have different presets. So if I cancel, edit the color once again. So here you have the possibility to modify the tolerance to see between a smaller, narrower tolerance. You can also click and modify inside the coloration, the level. You can change a lot of things, and if you want to to restore or to use the preset, you've got regular step, which is divided by default in 10, but you can go, I think, until 50. You can go to a regular center, so it means that the middle is 0. And after you divide it by the number of, so here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so 0 is there. If you want, you've got also a list of values, so you can check the deviation between 0, 0.1 millimeter. Oops, I made a mistake. Okay. Why is it 0, 0? Okay. And you've got a tolerance also, you have different things, so it's up to you to check. In fact, what you have to understand, for instance, if you take the tolerance, okay, why I cannot click it. Got a strange behavior. Ah, okay. So what you have to understand is that here, this is, for instance, a tolerance. If you want to highlight only in green, but you can change the color, certain tolerance, you can modify that. For instance, you can check that if there is 1 millimeter and minus 1 millimeter. Very small, so let's make it a little bit lower. Okay. So for instance, here it's like 92% of the points are located between minus 8 millimeter to plus 1 millimeter. So the edit color comparison is the way to, in fact, what you here we just try to check this mesh, which is not the best one, of course, with the point cloud. And the idea is to define a tolerance or not tolerance. Otherwise, the maximum will be the lowest point and the highest point, or the furthest point. And you can also specify this tolerance. And after, inside this tolerance, you can specify you can use the graduation. You can specify the levels. You can specify if you still to have a graduation of color, or if you want to use some preset using different steps, or use specific values. You have different things that you can use in order to edit specifically your heat map specifically. And the compare inspect model is duplicated and put inside the compare inspect. So it means that you can keep it unless you delete it. You can keep it and just double click on it to come back to the edit colors tool. We will come back to the comparison, don't worry. I just want to show you that it's possible to check the mesh that you go into result. And this one is, let's say that it's between minus, there is 1 millimeter difference, something like that. Most of them, 99%, here it's 1 centimeter. And if you enlarge a little bit, you will check that it's 1 millimeter. When it's gray, it's because there were no points in the measure model, so you cannot project the point when they don't exist. So it's gray, it means that it's not defined. If you want to speak, just unmute yourself. Just let me know when you are ready to continue to check the different options for the meshing, because the idea is to focus on the mesh, not the inspection for the moment. Just deleting the comparison. So this is the mesh, and can you and let me know when you are ready. We're going to display the same cloud and use another parameter for the machine. Are you okay?
Yep.
Okay, so please display the point cloud, go to surface modeling and 3D mesh. You have just generated a mesh with this option. So it was you pick up a point every 7 centimeter and create a mesh which was not too bad, but now I want you to understand that in fact there is no perfect parameters for a mesh. A mesh is a compromise between different factors: the smoothness, the number of triangle, the size of the triangle, and so on. So here it's a little bit complicated, but after, for sure that you will use the same workflow, I think, in 2 steps. So don't worry for that, but it's very important for you to understand. We use so the sampling distance was 7 centimeters. So now let's reduce it. Let's make it lower and pick up a point every, let's be crazy, 5 millimeter.
Ooh.
And also try to keep only the external border. All right? So regular sampling, a lower distance. So lower distance means that we're going to pick up more points. So we're going to create more triangles, probably with more accuracy because the sampling distance is lower, but probably also with more noise. Let's have a look. And the time processing is a little bit longer because the sampling distance is smaller. And this one here I exaggerate a little bit for sure. So I hope it will not take too much time.
Yeah, well, not at 5 millimeter.
And if you remember, we created a mesh with I think it was 140,000 triangles.
Yep.
With only 3 contours. Contours means pole or intersected. Also, when there is an intersected triangle, so it means that a triangle passing through another one, which should be not the case, but can happen, depending on the quality of the point cloud. So the speed will depend on your computer configuration. If you currently I use also with the remote session, it's a little bit longer. Okay. So, I forgot to mention that it was better to ignore the ignore the scanning direction in this case. So try to keep the external border, ignore scanning direction. You can try to press escape, normally should interrupt the processing.
Pardon me.
Scanning direction could be very interesting if you are if there is two scan, both inside and outside. In this case, you got can have even a thin wall. If you use the scanning direction, the mesh should consider the good surface from the other one. But here it's only from the outside, so here the scanning direction is has mixed up, and this is why this is not good to use that parameter. Okay, so now the surface is outside, so this is good. Otherwise, you can reverse the normal direction. If you remember, you just have to right-click on the mesh, and there is a function reverse. So if it's blue outside, please reverse. Why? Because the normal direction is quite important when you have to compute. For instance, the deviation, the absolute value will be good, but not the sign. Of course, it could be a minus instead of a plus. And also for volume, you will have a negative volume, which is not very relevant. So if you check the quality of your mesh, you will see more details, but also this orange skin effect. You see here the triangle are not very smooth. The surface is not smooth because in fact you've got noise. When you scat, you've got noise, and because the sampling distance was very low, 1 millimeter, you triangulate also the noisy point. So probably, except smoothing the mesh, which can modify a little bit the topology of the mesh if you smooth too much. Also, if I check the quality or the characteristics of the mesh, I've got so I use here not all points, but near the total amount of points. And so you create a mesh with 2,400,000 triangles, which is the big mesh. And this is probably not very relevant to use this mesh because it's heavy, because there is some noisy triangle. And regarding the holes, also I wanted to check the number of holes. So you can see that there are 13 in the independent piece. So it means that some triangles are just connected or not connected. Some of them are just connected by one vertex, and probably other one are not. You can check that. So here you can see here, because there were some points inside. In the manhole there were some points, I think. And because of the small sampling distance, the software didn't remove those points and decided to mesh them. So this is why you've got this element among the 13, which is independent piece, which is not very interesting. So it's more complicated. It brings more troubles, more problems to use this very, very, very small sampling distance. For sure that it's quite precise. You can see the different parts of the shell. So the idea is to get something quite which looks the same, which is the same level of accuracy, but lighter and smoother. In order to remove those points, or where it was,
Okay,
Yes,
so just
here.
strip the mesh down.
mostly in this part. Because I don't think that it reflects the reality of the shell.
Sure does.
But because of the light, because of the scan conditions, I don't know. You got a thin thickness of points, and as your sampling distance is very low, you go inside this thickness. So this is why, if you want to process this mesh with the same level of accuracy, it's better probably to use another way. And this way is called meshing in two-step.
Alright, so let's go into it.
You can keep it just to check after the different mesh results. And just let me know when you finish with this with the meshing and the examination of this mesh. So, just for your information, also it's possible to explode the different parts of the mesh which has been made. For instance, those triangles, as they are discontinuous, you can use the function ungroup mesh. And after, you can also try to smooth the mesh. It's possible, knowing that there are still some remaining holes and knowing that you can still probably have some bad triangle. But it could be also possible to work on this mesh after. But we will see that the idea is to get something lighter and with the same level of accuracy. Okay, just let me know when you are ready. Of course, you've got some samples, you've got some small exercises that you can use in order to better understand with the beginner guide, with the help command by command about the meshing. Just to give a little bit more information regarding the deviation and the different terms for the meshing, and where you can how you can try to find a good compromise. It's also for your information, it's always better to spend more time on cleaning the points than on cleaning the mesh.
Targeting is fucking horrible. It's just on that patch. Oh, okay. There we go.
Everybody follows? That's okay? Difficult for me to check that.
That's good.
So Okay, let's go. Let's continue with now the meshing into step. Is it clear so far? Because it's a little bit theoretical. So can I just want to be sure that you follow and understand. So can you give me your feedback?
I'm good here.
And what were the rest of the attendees? For that, it's complicated when you've got remote session. It's difficult to interact with the attendees. That's very important. So, HT, Amanda, Jan, what about you? Are you lost or not? Are you there? Hello? No, then Jess is there, but what about Amanda? Yes.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. So now select display the once again the point cloud. Go to 3D meshing, and now let's see the meshing into step.
Yes.
So meshing into step is the same way, same idea is to pick up only the best point according to sampling distance. And the sampling distance usually is depending on the number of points, but is usually between 2 to 3 times the value of the sampling distance. So it means that instead of taking a point every 7 centimeters, the meshing into step is going to pick up a point every 15 centimeters. Of course, you can change that.
Right.
And by default, the hole detection, the size is larger for sure, but you can reduce, you can modify, or you can also try to keep only the external border. Ignore scanning direction because
That's half a foot.
they are not interesting to keep. And for sure that if I'm going to use a lower sampling distance, I will make more quickly a mesh, and this mesh will be not so accurate.
Right.
But
So I was going to
if I make
say,
a preview in 2
on 6 inch.
keep, okay, I've got the shell,
Right.
so there's no real detail.
Right.
But I've got, in fact, the idea of the meshing into step is to use the first rough mesh which keep the topology and the shape of the model for sure, and to use this base mesh in order to refine or to add details according to different methods. The one that we're going to use it's called extrapolation of points.
Okay.
So the idea is to try to get so the mesh that would be made up of. So if you say okay, oops, sorry, I click.
Got too fast.
Okay, let's keep it. Okay, I wanted to show the intermediary step of the mesh, which this one is very is a mesh made up of big triangles, so it's easy to repair, to fix. And after we're going to refine. So
Okay.
by default, I accidentally press OK for the refining mesh. The process is longer here. So you've got meshing in two-step drives you directly to the second dialog box, which is refine mesh. But refine mesh can be also activated here if you select the cloud and the mesh. It means that you can refine all the complete mesh or part of the mesh when you want. So the idea while it's still working and didn't check the parameter is to refine mesh according to different methods. The one that is usually used is the cloud interpolation. Cloud interpolation is based on the theoretical surface of the cloud. It means that the idea is to generate a mesh at the end which will go inside the thickness of the cloud, so the result will be a smoother mesh. Okay, so I cancel. And the refine mesh from cloud, it will you can keep only the best point. You can increase the level of details and possibly the noise. So no noise reduction. So you pick up the points and you use them to refine the mesh. So the interest of the two methods are completely different, in fact. What you're usually going to use is the cloud interpolation in order to remove this orange skin effect, the noise, and to have a smoother surface, which is very, very, very close to the model, because in fact what you're going to do is to modify the rough mesh, and you would say, okay, now refine with deviation error. It means that the maximum deviation, so let me take a lower value just to increase to speed up the process. The lower value will be here by default 7 millimeter. So the maximum deformation of the maximum distance between the refined mesh and the surface, the theoretical surface of the cloud will be 7 millimeter. So it means that when you refine, you control the maximum deformation of the mesh, that you allow. So you are far beyond the resolution of your scan, which is here approximately 5 centimeters, something like that. So you really create an accurate mesh. Now the idea is that do I want to get a smooth mesh, or do I want to add a lot of details but also the noise? So please, while the refining mesh is processing, please select your point cloud. Use the meshing in two-step, use the default value, try to fill until the external border and ignore the scanning direction. You will get the first rough mesh in 2 or 3 seconds. I hope that this one is good enough, we will see. And after you refine the mesh from cloud interpolation. So this one is not accurate enough. I need to make it more. And use the default value. Oh! Okay, I made a mistake. So 75 meters.
You caught that, did you?
So while you're doing the refining mesh, let me explain you again the different options. So deviation error is the maximum distance between the new mesh and the point cloud that you allow. Maximum number of triangle, you keep it like that, don't worry. The minimal triangle size is usually 10 times to 100 times. Usually it's 10 times, so probably I've changed the parameter, but it's usually 10 times, so this is the minimum triangle size. don't touch. It should be okay. And after you've got some also some options. Distance, it means that if a point is located, I don't know, you with a certain distance, you say, okay, do not consider this point for the refining process. So it means that there will be no triangle, no vertex of triangle using this point, which could be interesting if there is, I don't know, you see the wall, the shell, and there is a point, isolated points, you can disregard this one. So here can take a little time because of the refining process, which is based on the interpolation. So I would say it's we use the points. Okay, and let me check 0. Should be okay. When you are finished with the refining process, just tell me if it's too smooth, you don't see enough details. In this case, we will try to change the parameter. When you are ready, just let me know. We will try to find some explanation about the result. If it's too smooth, not smooth enough, compared with the first meshes that we did. If just to make you understand how does it work. So did you get something and or not? And what about this model? Is it not detailed enough? Is it too smooth? Do you need to change the parameter? Well, what do you have?
Looks pretty good. Hello? Did you get something or not? It's difficult when I don't. Yes, James. No, everything's looking okay.
What does it mean? Okay, what did you get?
I'm kind of playing with just the different settings of the mesh to see, adjusting
Okay.
the settings to just kind of
So that
figuring it out.
okay. I think that for this model, the best if you use the default sampling distance for the meshing into step is probably too big, so that you get something too rough.
Right.
And if you want to refine in order to get a smooth surface, you need at least to have some small level of details. So.
Right.
So this is something also important that you need to know. So probably for this model, the best parameter should be to use a refining into step,
Right.
with something like about 5 centimeters, and after you can refine.
Right.
Just an idea. My purpose, or probably yes, the idea is. It's not necessary to get something that I showed before a mesh with a lot of details, but too many details with noisy points.
Right.
The idea is to have something smoother. So to do that, you need to start probably in meshing in two-step with a lower sampling distance than the default one for the sampling in two-step. So use yes 5 centimeters, something like that, and after try to refine mesh from cloud interpolation and use the default value. You can refine three times, as many times as you want, in fact, manually. Also, I will show you that after.
Get that. With the refine.
So here, for instance, I'm trying to use also the mesh, the meshing in two steps, but instead of using interpolated new points, I try to use the real one. The idea is to use, so it's just for your information, especially when you use a too small value. So if you look at my screen, you see that from the rough mesh, I add a refined mesh from cloud, and I use no noise reduction. So it means that I retrieve all the points, modify the rough mesh so that all the triangle use the real point as as vertex. I see too many details and too roughy points. So this is why also if you use a small value for refined mesh from cloud, it could be interesting to use this refined mesh method as intermediary steps if you want to add some details in your rough mesh, but don't put too many a value too small. Let's say that, okay, I've done that, I'm satisfied with my second mesh. After, it's possible to refine another time. You just have to select the mesh,
Right.
the corresponding cloud, and go to refine mesh. And here, you from this dialog box, you choose to refine mesh with cloud interpolation, or here I can decide to refine the mesh and add details, because I can see the little bit the shape of the shell. So if I just say, okay, just put some, let's make 3 centimeters or 2 centimeters. Okay. So the idea is to add a little bit more detail on the rough mesh, and then after you can refine by interpolation. You will get more details, but with a smooth surface. This is the idea. After all, it's also just a question of tolerance, of course. If you want to have something very, very, very accurate because you want to make a very, very, very accurate inspection beyond let's say the natural error of the scan, after it's not necessary. So here you can see that I hide some details, real points, so I see some remaining points, but if I reduce it centimeter, and you can refine also a mesh. Just if you select on the cloud, you just split a small part of the cloud, and you use only this small part to refine the mesh. Please be aware that you will refine only the parts which correspond to the cloud. You will not refine the entire mesh, but only the zone which fit with the cloud. So please try to use different parts. Please try to use to create some different mesh. I advise you to also to refine manually. Do not enter to a value too small. Sorry, because of the time to process. It takes 5 minutes sometimes. So. You can see that as over when I had more points coming from the real points, I see a little bit more details, but I see also the default, the noise.
Right.
So there is a stage where you have to stop when you add details, real points on the mesh. And from that, perhaps you have enough details on the first mesh to say, okay, we'll select this mesh and yes, this one, and your point, refine mesh. So here, I'm going to add more details, but with a smoother surface, so I'm going to use the interpolation. So, okay. So of course, all the meshing process, depending, for sure you can play with the different parameters, but it's at the end it rests on the quality of the point cloud. So the more noisy, the more perhaps more parameters you will have to consider to deal with in order to get something accurate enough. So here I've got a smoother surface. I see some also some the shell. So probably it's enough for me, but you see that this point cloud is quite noisy. So the best way should be to use, if I come back, so this is a 3-step mesh here. And if I check using that, as I use a rough mesh first, I add details taking the real point, and after I interpolate new points. And of course, the deviation distance should be lower at each step. And if you check the mesh, you've got only one piece for 5 contours, so there are some small remaining holes, but it doesn't matter here. The second one, and we use only here 700,000, 70,000, 700,000. Difficult to speak today. Here the very detail. So I smooth a little bit this one, yeah. So this one was using a sample of 1 centimeter. Of course, you need to you can use this one, but you will need to clean this one. And for sure that there are still some remaining holes because the holes were too big regarding the sampling distance. So in fact, there is different strategies. What is the best way? What is the good strategy? This is, of course, a good question. And in fact, there is no. I will say that there is no the best strategy. First, it depends. For me, if you want to spend more, if you want to concentrate on the workflow to get something, of course, accurate enough. If you really want to, because you really want to check all the details, you want to see all the details, so probably you need to make a very small mesh, small sampling distance, but after you have to clean the mesh by removing those triangles, so this is not complicated. If you look at my screen, so if you select this mesh, you go to the mesh, you got a function which is called ungroup mesh. So it creates a certain number of meshes. If I add the biggest one, so I've got some remaining meshes which were discontinued from the big one, so I can delete them. They are not interesting. So now I've got only one part, and if I want to increase or increase the quality of the surface or smooth it, you've got here some management tool to improve the accuracy of the mesh, not the accuracy, sorry, the quality of the mesh. You have a smooth mesh. So here you've got global smoothing and local smoothing. So local smoothing is like a pencil, depending for sure the size of the triangle, which in this case here are very small. But you can use local smoothing to smooth locally. In this case, I will use, in order to remove these noisy points and try to get something a little bit smoother, to smooth the entire mesh a little bit, not too much, because if you smooth too much, you modify the shape of the triangle and you probably modify the topology. You can modify the topology of the mesh. So use the low value and improve curvature areas. It's like during the meshing process, you've got also what we call reorganization of the triangle. So this is very interesting because you reorganize the size of the triangles. You stretch them and you make them better follow the curvature. So this is the meshing, this is the smoothing. If I increase the smoothing, so this is before without smoothing and after. and this is very interesting because he removes, especially with the improvement in the curvature areas, he really improved the quality of the triangle. So for me, the best, probably, yes, the most accurate mesh is this one, which is not too bad because you need, I smooth a little bit, but of course after you still have some holes then that can be filled if you want. So I also show you that, and after it's very important if we start from the beginning and we make the complete workflow. And this workflow is valid for this cloud, but probably you can adapt and modify the parameters depending on the level of details that you want, the quality of the point cloud. So I show you that you can smooth locally or globally. You have the fill holes. So fill holes is you have different parameters. If you want to select them all, you have select borders shorter than 0. That means that nothing is selected. Select border longer than 0, everything is selected. So after you can change, of course, the length, just to be sure that you didn't select the biggest contour in order to fill the bottom and the top. This is not what we want to do. Or you select directly, deselect all and select only by clicking on the contour the hole that you want. So this is why when it's in the property of the mesh, when you can see one hole or contour, it's for the software it's the same. So once you have selected the contour that you want, you have also one additional option is the curvature filling. So you can, depending on the curvature, you can decide to make it flat or just to make it following the curvature. So if I say, for instance, that's why I've got trouble. Okay, so sorry for that. I'm going to fill holes. Okay, I select this one, for instance, preview, and crash. Sorry.
Oh.
It can happen. I like that. So sorry for that. I'm going to new tank. So it's I take this. No, it's not this one. Sorry. Okay, so I take this opportunity to show you again the workflow. Once you have cleaned the cloud as much as you can, surface modeling, 3D mesh, regular sampling or meshing in 2 steps, because you can refine manually. So I will show you the refining, the manual refining process. So you can make a regular sampling. You can take, I don't know, 7 centimeters by default and check the level of details that you have. You want to try to fill the holes as much as you can, so you try to keep only the external border. And here, because you know already that if you don't tick these options, the result is not good because the points are not properly. I was scanned from the same from the outside only. Right. So you can make a preview. If you use the default value, it doesn't take too much time. So you can see that, okay, my mesh doesn't show too many details if I want to refine. So probably I can try to reduce a little bit the value and make a preview. So you have to process probably like that when you start.
Right.
So here we take up we pick up a point every 5 centimeters. You can see that you got more points, but probably more details, more noisy things. Some points that you can that have been triangulate here, but this is not a problem. You can delete that after. Okay, see certain level of details. So now I can use this mesh to refine in order to remove the despite triangles. So if you say okay, so you have one alternative. You can say okay, and I'm going to use the manual way. Why not? I'm going to do that. Or you can meshing into step and use enter the same value of 5 centimeters. And in this case, you go directly to the default meshing into step value. So let's make it manually. So let's go for preview. The idea is to show a minimum level of details in the rough mesh. Minimum. Okay, so if I say okay, now I've got that mesh. I want to clean a little bit that mesh because it's still my base mesh, which I'm going to refine it. So now I hope that it will work. I want to fill the hole. So I click manually or I select depending on the length of the contour. Preview.
There you go.
So with the curvature is like that. Without a curvature filling, it should be better, flat. Yeah. So you can do for this one, you can do for this one, and so on, and so on. So here this is not the hole, this is an external contour. We're going to deal it differently. So preview. 6. Okay, next. Do I have some remaining holes? No, okay. Oh, here. So it's up to you if you want to fill that. Of course, it's not mandatory. Okay, so now I've got some small triangle that have been made from isolated point clouds. So as there's no connection, I don't have to use the clean separate module, but I can do it. So it's like clean separate for the cloud, but it's for triangle where you have different selection modes. So of course I invite you to refer to the help center if you want to understand the different meaning, but it's usually you have to just like the polygon. So you can process like that. And delete. And finished. Or you can, as this triangle is far away from the shell, ungroup, and you can see that in the mesh menu you've got as many triangles as they were not that was not joined. Okay, so now what do you have also as improvement tool? So it's better also to quickly prepare if you want to quickly improve the mesh in the not at the end, because the triangle will be smaller. Here they are not so small. They are, if I check with the smooth and wire representation, They are quite small, but yes, okay. So, but usually I prefer to do it before the last refining. What do you have? You have also other tool for your information. So after I will let you play, I will just refine, and after I will you will finish. You will try by your own, by yourself. If I take, you've got replace a part, which is also interesting. Replace the part, for instance, is that so you can use the curvature filling or not. Let's do it. So if I draw a delineation like that, you should, yes, it's more complicated here because of this triangle. So I have to delete this triangle. So let me do it here in order to, if it's a default, for sure you will not fix something that you must keep for your analysis. The idea is to delineate an area where the mesh will be deleted and after replaced by a smooth one. So it's just for your information as well. This one probably is, yes, is something that it's more complicated to deal with. So either you delineate a bigger delineation and it works, or you use the clean separate, but don't do that too much because you will modify the shape. So it must be something smaller, otherwise you go to clean separate and you delete and replace only the bad triangles which has been deleted. So the last one, this step is not mandatory. It's just I show you because it's possible to do that. If you really see bad triangles that you want to remove and disregard before the last refining. So now I've got something not too bad, not too much noisy, and I want to add a little bit more details and refine by interpolated new points in order to create a smoother surface. So this is the final step, I just have to select the mesh that I want to refine, select the points, okay, this one that I want to use for the refining process, refine mesh, go to the refine mesh from cloud interpolation, so and use the default value, or if you usually it's about 0.1 millimeter, something like that, and make a preview. So I'm sorry for this session. It's a little bit more complicated for me to explain because we are talking about mesh, so it's important for you to understand how does it work. Also, I don't have interaction with you, so I don't know if you understand, if you follow, if you generate the mesh in the same speed. So I hope that you will try to play with the software, go back to the play with this model, use different value, feel free to refer to the help center. The idea is that you get something, a mesh, so that for the next session we will use this mesh to make the roundness analysis. And now I have this mesh with one part, small, yes, two holes, two main holes, and perhaps some remaining ones, but not interesting. Only 500,000 triangles. So I think, and if I want to check the quality of that mesh from the measure model, I can check by making an inspection. So I will select the cloud on the mesh, analysis, cloud, inspect, and check according to see. So 95% of the points are located within 2 millimeter distance. If I want to check that, I can reduce. So 80% are located close to 0.5 millimeter, something less. So I am far beyond the accuracy of your scan.
Yep.
Because you have to understand that for sure when you scan you got this, you have a certain error.
Yep.
Because of your scan, and when you mesh and refine a mesh, I say when you deform the mesh, the rough mesh, with a maximum deviation of here it was 0.1 millimeter. So this is why I've got this this level of accuracy. No, for me, I stop there. I want you to create the mesh, something accurate enough with a smoother surface. This is the exercise. I hope that you followed this session, because I did not hear a lot from you. And now for the last 13 minutes, if you have any question, I'm free. If there is something that you really don't understand, if you want to share your screen because you don't understand, please let me know.
Oh, shit.
After you no, I don't know if you followed, but for the analysis it will be very easy and fast.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
We'll let Nicholas go if we don't.
I don't have any questions.
Was it clear enough? Because I know that it's not easy to do that training for the meshing, especially and remotely. And I don't see what you're doing, so it's very difficult for me. So did you? Was it clear or not?
Yeah, it was clear. I've got
Yeah.
a handle on it.
Yeah, I think it was clear.
Okay, otherwise, because this is for sure that as the tank workflow requires mesh as an input, it's quite important to you for you to understand that, and as there are different strategy, it could be a little bit tricky, and but anyway, it's so for the next session, it could be interesting for you to try to create different meshes. From different clouds, don't mind. As I told you, you can also refer to the help file, but and we will, if you have any question regarding the meshing for the next session, I will be glad to try to answer. Otherwise, from the meshing input, we can try to unroll all the rest of the tank analysis workflow. And after this workflow, what will be very interesting is to work on this one. And probably what could be very interesting is that everyone works directly, say, okay, I need to process the roundness, the surface analysis of the shell, the localize settlement also for the bottom, so I need the bottom. And over the next sessions, we will see if you need to compute the volume, that you need to get also the top. So cleaning the bottom and the top, it's also another part. So I will say next session, we can review the mesh if you want, and after we can just check the workflow as we got the mesh as input, just for the base cylinder, the surface analysis, the unroll, roundness, and verticality analysis. Does it sound good for you?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and in the meantime, if you have any question, please send me your question through email. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you just got it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, and see you next week, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks.